most photographers, about 70% of you, are just not going to do this. It's going to look bad the first few times. Anything you want to do that's worth doing is probably going to be pretty crappy the first time. When you write a blog post, you can target several different keywords. You can target something that is for like proposals or engagements or locations or venues. You can write content around all those subjects. When you just base on your homepage ranking, you're really only putting one opportunity. Like the only opportunity for you to get someone to see your website is if you rank for the term your city wedding photographer. Whereas when we're writing full blogs and we have like strategic blogs placed throughout your website, you can rank for proposal photographer in your area. You can rank for proposal locations. You can rank for wedding venues in your area. You can rank for specific wedding venues. You can rank for so many other things. And what this does is it goes, okay, well now instead of just like maybe 800 people seeing me a month, now I can get up to 10,000. I can get past 10,000. Today, we're going to be talking about strategic blogging versus kind of your standard like old school version of blogging. I'm going to show you some examples of what like old school blogging is and why it doesn't really work. But first, I want to kind of deep dive into why you'd want to rank in the first place, right? There's always a method of marketing. There's hundreds of methods of marketing your wedding photography business. You know, there's referrals, there's Instagram, there's TikTok, there's Facebook. There are so many different things that you could do to get leads coming into your business. And it's not that all of them are wrong. There are just some that are more efficient than others. And so the reason I like Google more than any of the other ones is because when I post something on Instagram, or if I post a reel or I post a TikTok, it's not that it can't get me leads. That would be a bold-faced lie if I told you it just can't get you leads, because it absolutely can get you leads. The thing is that when I post one of those, it's like it's there for a little bit. It's like a little hit. It's there, and all of a sudden nobody's like paying attention. Okay, so I don't have that. I don't have that long longevity that's going to be with that post. It's basically it's there. People are going to see it, and if they see it, then they might interact with me. But otherwise, they may not. Whereas with Google, I can write something and I can get leads from it for years, as long as I'm keeping up with the performance and making sure there's not someone else who's written a better piece of content for me. I might have to change it. There's a huge difference in that, and there's also kind of like, you don't have to be perfect. You're not really as competitive because most photographers, about 70% of you, are just not going to do this. Okay, that's just what the industry standard is. I'm hoping everyone in my group decides to take me up on this, but the vast majority of photographers just don't want to do it because they think it's really complicated, or they're afraid it'll look bad. And I want to kind of encourage you guys by saying like it's going to look bad the first few times. Anything you want to do that's worth doing is probably going to be pretty crappy the first time. As a matter of fact, if you're bored and you want to see something really terrible, please, by all means, go into the first video that we recorded in this group and compare it to what we're doing right now. Okay, it was pretty trash. Okay, I can give myself some feedback. Just like the first blog I wrote was pretty bad. Okay, matter of fact, we might even look at the first blog I wrote. But I kind of want to talk about these methodologies of blogging anyway. So when you write a term, okay, when you write a blog post, you can target several different keywords. You can target something that is for like proposals or engagements or locations or venues. You can write content around all those subjects. When you just base on your homepage ranking, you're really only putting one opportunity. Like the only opportunity for you to get someone to see your website is if you rank for the term your city wedding photographer. Whereas when we're writing full blogs and we have like strategic blogs placed throughout your website, you can rank for proposal photographer in your area. You can rank for proposal locations. You can rank for wedding venues in your area. You can rank for specific wedding venues. You can rank for so many other things. And what this does is it goes, okay, well now instead of just like maybe 800 people seeing me a month, now I can get up to 10,000. I can get past 10,000. That's kind of my goal for this year. I want to see the website hit on average more than 10,000 per month. So we're going to be hitting some blogs pretty intensely. That's kind of the benefit. It gives you more windows of opportunity. Whereas like a post on Instagram, like, okay, you're going to get your reach for a few days, and then all of a sudden what happens? People forget. Or let's say Reels, okay? So I've been experimenting with Reels. I've been experimenting with TikToks. I've been experimenting with YouTube Shorts, and they're good. But the thing is like once I'm in that feed, especially on TikTok's I think worse for this, but like once I see the reel, it's not like I go to your website right afterwards. I'm usually distracted by the next video that comes up. So here's what the old standard of blogging used to be, okay? So back in the day, what we would do is we'd take every session that we've ever shot and we would just write about the couple, okay? We'd make sure that we had all their photos, we'd talk all about this couple, and here's the thing. This is okay, but we run into kind of an issue, right? What do you think the issue is? The issue is basically this. The only couple who cares about this wedding is the couple that was in this wedding. And so even though this is a really nice couple and I gave all the venue information and all the vendor information that I had, like the basic, like, oh, here's where we were, here's who I was working with. Then I had all these photos. This article does not perform well at all. It doesn't get me leads, and the work is decent. I mean, it's good enough, right? Hey, thanks for watching. Look, if you could do us a favor and leave a like, a comment, or just subscribe to us, it would help other people find these videos. And if it's helping you, it's going to help them too. Thanks. It doesn't get me any traction whatsoever. I can even show you. All right. So if we look at this is a plugin called Google Site Kit for your WordPress site. It's got 2 impressions. 2. Okay. So if you have 100 of these, your best case scenario is that you might have 100 impressions. Okay. Maybe 200 impressions. This is the thing, though. An impression is not actually a click on your site. An impression basically means on the Google's like search engine page. So like if you type into Google. So if I go to Google, all right, and I type in, let's type in Arizona elopement. Oops. How about we learn how to spell first? So I type in Arizona elopement, and what happens is that anytime I see one of these websites here, like if I scroll past it, that counts as an impression. It's not someone actually clicking in to your website. Kind of impressively, I'm getting 206 impressions for this, and I really haven't written that much about it. But you'll see, like there's all these websites. Now, unless I click on it, that's not actually a click. That's not actually a potential customer. That's just someone who happens to see your name. A click is me literally going to like Alyssa Campbell's website here and looking at what she's got going on. Okay, that's the difference between an impression versus a click. And you can see like the impressions for this Flagstaff wedding that I wrote up, this traditional blog thing, it's straight up like, it's kind of garbage. I'm just gonna be honest, it's kind of garbage. You're gonna find when you write blog posts like this, and maybe you do it for weddings, maybe you do it for engagement sessions, you're gonna get really, really low results. You might get a lot of pins for Pinterest if that's your end game, and that's okay, but you're not gonna get a lot of Google results. What we're gonna see here is we're gonna see a lot less interaction, a lot less people reading the article, because the only people who care about Kurt and Lauren's wedding are either related to Kurt and Lauren or are Kurt and Lauren themselves. Okay. And I love Kurt and Lauren. Okay. I don't want to shame their work or anything like this, but I could have made this a lot better by just writing an informative post about their wedding venue, because someone who's looking for this, right? Someone who's looking for this wants to know how to have a wedding like this. And an article, when you write it out just from the couple's perspective, like this front paragraph that just talks about how they got proposed or how he proposed and how they got engaged, doesn't give me any of that information. Okay. And so it's not serving a purpose. It's not getting me clicks. It's not going to get me leads. No one's going to be contacting me based on this kind of a blog. All right. On the other hand, okay, let's take this a different realm. If I write something like 6 incredible ideas for your Orlando proposal. Okay. And this is really good because this is like a hot lead. This is like someone with commercial intent. The person who looks for this and finds this, that person's looking to hire a proposal photographer because they probably are proposing for the first time. They don't have any idea how to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it easy. I'm going to answer some questions I know they have. And you'll see inside the table of contents, here's the questions they're going to have. They're going to have how to propose, like how do I actually propose? What are some ideas? What are some ways that I can make this memorable for my partner? Okay. The next thing that they're going to have is they're going to have, where should I propose? And what can I do at those locations? So we write the article to have those things. And then they're going to have some frequently asked questions, which I'll show you how you find those. See, for Arizona elopement, people also ask is the section you get those frequently asked questions from. Like this is the question. This is where I'm getting the answers for those questions. I don't have to answer all of them, but I want to answer some of them. So when someone comes to this post specifically, they're getting a lot of really, really high value, really high intent things. And so you'll see that, again, if we look at the Arizona one, where I was just talking about the couple session I did, or the wedding I did here, you can see 2 impressions, no clicks, 3 users. Okay. On the other hand, if we look at this one, this proposal one, we have 3,300 impressions. 238 clicks in just 28 days, 264 users, and 270 sessions, meaning that I've had 238 potential leads come through here. And I can tell you that we've had, I think, 4 or 5 of them, or I've had a conversation with them, decided whether or not I wanted to shoot their proposal or if it was going to work out. We had one book Tuesday for this. So this article just sitting here, since I wrote it, I just posted it, haven't really touched it. It's already making me money. It's getting me inquiries. It's getting me booked. This is the kind of thing that you want to do with your blogs. You don't want to have something that just sits and looks pretty but doesn't do anything for you. You want to have something that actually answers questions that a potential client is going to have and positions you as the expert so that you can build trust and get that lead in. That's what we want to do with these blogs. And this is just one example. Like if we go in here, I've got lots of blogs. We write a lot of blogs. Now these 7 up here, these are in what we would call kind of a waiting phase because I just wrote them last week. So we don't really want to look at them until we have about like 30 days, give or take, of actual performance. But I can tell you what I do when I post something like this is I'll look at it and I'll see if Google's picked it up at all for anything. Meaning like, am I getting impressions? Are people seeing it? So Google's already picked this up, found people, and they've clicked on it as far as search goes. So we know that article will eventually rank. That's how I kind of check and make sure. But for the most part, the first 30 days or so, I can't really tell if it's actually well written or if it's going to get us results. But if we go to something that's been out for a little bit, so let's grab, I don't know, this one. Okay, so this one's interesting because it was written for my old hometown, and technically speaking, there's no search volume for the term where to take engagement photos in Northwest Indiana. There's not a lot of search volume for that. What there is search volume for is where to take engagement photos near me or where to take pictures near me. And so here's kind of the cool thing about this, right? Where to take engagement photos near me translates to wherever that person is looking for. So if you write an article that's similar to this and they're searching for it in Northwest Indiana, this is the article that's going to pull up because it's the closest article to them. And though there was no search volume inside the traditional sense, like I haven't looked at the back-end keyword research of this, we're getting clicks. Now, because it's cold season, we'll probably see less clicks there, but this one's got 76 clicks, 2.2K impressions, and that's off of literally an article that technically didn't have any search results. Like there's nobody that was searching for engagement photos or where to take photos in Valparaiso, which was my old hometown. See, like that's what we talk about when we mean strategic. It's like, how can I serve something that would like help someone get what they want? So in this case, what does the user want? What's the intent? They want to know where they can go take photos. So I give them some locations. I show them my work, which kind of builds them as like, oh, hey, Roy might be a really great photographer to talk to. Okay. And I give them like, hey, this is where this is at. I don't gatekeep locations. If you're gatekeeping your locations, stop it. The place that you take photos is not what actually makes you unique as a photographer. And if you think that's the case, you don't understand what you sell or why you're the expert. Matter of fact, I'd almost say if you think that locations make you the expert, then you're not an expert. Okay? And so when I give these places away, I can explain what I like about them, where there's opportunities here, how to get information on them. I also give a reference link back to where they can book sessions or something there. Like if they need a permit or something, I can give them permit information. But I show them kind of, hey, this is what it would look like. Here's some places you can go shoot at. This is where we're literally serving our clients. We're like making them understand that this is a place to go to for actual information. We're not just wasting their time. Okay, it's not a fleeting thing. And again, you can do the same thing inside of like Instagram or TikTok if you write a reel that's really well. But the problem is that it's not a lasting reel. It doesn't get you leads several months in the future. Like if I make a reel today, it's pretty much gonna get like the best reactions within like the next week or so, unless I get like a very rare viral case. Like I can't plan for that. And so I might get leads this week from it, but then I'm going to have to start up and do all over again. Whereas this article, again, we're getting leads from it, and I have not touched this one at all because, well, if we're being really honest, I wrote this one because I was tired of answering questions from my friends who were getting engaged in Northwest Indiana, and I had all this content. And I was like, all right, well, I'll just write this for you guys so you have somewhere to go. And that got me leads. The other thing that makes blogging really, really beneficial is that unlike Instagram, unlike any other space that I go to, I own this website. This is my website. There is nowhere else for you to go. There's no like, oh, okay, well, you know, if the algorithm changes, I'm screwed. No, this is my website. I own it. So whatever is on here is my piece of property. I can change it. I can make things look different. I can adjust the outlay. Whereas on Instagram, like let's say Instagram loses all its popularity. Well, guess what? All of a sudden, I can't market the same way I was marketing before. And here's kind of something that's more interesting. So let's say we are interested in something like TikTok. Well, guess what? TikTok takes into account SEO. So knowing this actually helps me across other platforms. But I want to make sure you're making good content. There is such a difference between good content and content that we think is just pretty, like pretty content, like good content versus pretty content. This is pretty content, this wedding at Flagstaff. Like this was a really fun wedding, and I have a lot of really fond memories with here, and the couple was really happy, and they got a really big album. But stuff like this gets me leads. This actually serves a purpose. This makes my business grow. Okay. And yeah, it takes some time. All right. So again, I don't want you to think that you're going to be perfect. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and find a blog that I wrote that is really terrible. And let me tell you, there's a couple. Okay. That was one example of one that's really terrible, but it was kind of like old school. It's kind of like there for testing. Actually, the whole purpose of this blog, the only time it's been useful is to show you guys what not to do. That's what the purpose of that blog is. All right. Now, if I go back here to let's go early days. Let's go all the way to, I don't know. Yeah, let's do this one. I think I've even messed with this one a little bit. Okay, not really my best article. Okay, this is talking about a wedding venue in, again, Indiana, where I used to be from, because I used to shoot there all the time. And I kind of did the same thing. I kind of just focused on the couples here. All right, but I did give some venue information. So if we go up to the top here, you can kind of see there is some information here. It doesn't answer a ton of questions, but it's slightly better. Let's see what the results are for this one. Okay, 475 impressions, so way better than that one that we looked at for just a couple information. We got one click, not really doing a ton for me here. But this is the first draft. This is where we start. As you practice this, you become better. And so what do? We go, okay, well, this one's not working. Let's go something even more broad. So we have the next article that's on this website. Okay? The best small wedding venues in Tampa, Florida. Okay? This one is one of my top performers as far as blogs go. And you can see this has got, okay, again, not really that well written. This literally is not a very well written blog. This is not what I would do now. I'll show you the version the modified version of this. This is something that I've changed up. But this is a really, really well performing blog because very few people are targeting small wedding venues. And I like shooting small weddings. That's just kind of my thing. Okay. So I explain kind of a little bit of information about intimate weddings and elopements. And then I go through just like some basic information about top Tampa small wedding venues, and you can see I've got some photos. By the way, I took these on my phone and then I just threw my presets on them. These are not very good photos, and actually I only took them because I was there stayed there for a night. All right, so I give them some information why I like the space, and then I give them some information on like what kind of weddings I think it's fit for, and then some here's some amenities. All right, I don't have the address here. I also don't have anything connecting to it. This is an article that I could seriously go through and improve. All right. Same thing. I go through all top 10. We're going to have all that information. I've got some photos of places that I actually have went through and photographed. And then I have a contact form. And then we have, I think there's some hotel information. Nope, got rid of the hotel information. So again, this is like the second blog that we're looking through on the website. This is probably 2 years ago now. Probably about 2 years ago that I wrote this. And here's the site kit information. Okay. This has 21,000 impressions and 420 clicks in the last 28 days. If you're wondering how to get out of, this is engagement season, this is the only time where we're going to be getting inquiries, this is the shit that does that. Writing content that solves things that people are looking for, that is informative and shows off your work is how you're going to get leads from for a long time. There's going to be a lot of leads that come through from this. Matter of fact, this is one of my most popular articles on the site, and it's old, and it's not written specifically well. As a matter of fact, we have a new format for this, okay? So the new format that I've been writing this in lately, because we always are trying to improve here. I don't know if if you're newer to the group, you probably don't know this about me, but I am constantly trying to improve things and make them better. Always, 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 there's at least 1% I can get better. All right, so this is one we recently wrote. This article is only 7 days old. We'll look at the performance real quick. Again, it's a fairly new one, so it's only 213 impressions. It's got to take time to rank. But that's actually a really good sign. Again, this is, let's see if we can go on the back end of the site. We'll see if it'll tell me how old this article is. Okay, didn't write this article until January 20th. Okay, it's already being shown to 213 people, and right now it's showing me that it knows that it's related to small wedding venues Orlando, and then some other places that are nearby me, okay? And so you can see we now have a table of contents that's a little clear to read. We also have a paragraph of information about the wedding venue, and then literally just the address and the website for that address, and then photos as I have them. If I don't have photos of them, it's okay, but it's something that's going to get me traffic as time goes on. This is the big difference, okay? We're serving people when we write strategic blogs. Here's the other nice thing. Eventually, you don't have to do these. Eventually, you'll have enough traffic coming to your site that what you're going to basically doing is coasting. You're going to be kind of maintaining. Matter of fact, I didn't write a new blog for my website for about 8 months until January, and then I wrote 7 blogs in a single month. And a lot of those blogs, I wrote them while doing research, while watching TV, while just sitting here and kind of just vibing. I had some music going, or sometimes I was watching TV, and I was just kind of writing them as I went. It's like a very chill and relaxed way to do this. They do take time though. I mean, the average blog that's going to get you actual results is going to be about 750 words on average. If you go higher than that, you're going to be better off. A lot of my blogs, a lot of my really well-performing blogs are closer to 1,000. I don't even know if this will tell me. It should tell me. If I go into edit post, this should tell me how many words are inside of here. So if I pull this up, this has got 905 words, okay? So I do have to become a better writer. I do have to practice things. I do have to figure out what it is about a certain venue that I actually enjoy. But this is how I get leads. Last year alone, I had 350 leads come in. Maybe it might even be 354. It's 350 or 354. 70% of those came from Google search, meaning that about 268 of them were from Google search. Okay, 268 leads for someone who is only shooting 10 weddings a year intentionally. I said no to so many people, it's not funny, because I really only wanted to do the 10. I needed a break. But I could always, if I wanted to, I could take 30 weddings a year, like within a couple of days. Next month, I could book 20 weddings if I wanted to. I don't want to do that because I like to look for the couples that I really, really want to connect with, and I like to look for weddings that are really interesting to me. But if I really needed to, this would solve all my business problems right off the bat. And again, it's not just weddings either. It's proposal locations, which means I'm going to be shooting proposals. It's engagement locations, which means I'm going to shoot engagements. And I don't give away my engagement sessions. I don't give away proposal sessions either. People come and they pay me at minimum for 45 minutes, $600. Most of the time, they're upgrading to the higher package, which is at $1,600. So there is opportunity for growth here. There's opportunity to build your business. And this is one of the ways to do it. So here's the deal. If you're not sure how to do this, we have a course releasing next week. Just to give you a heads up, it's $500 right off the bat. There are no secrets. It also has templates for blogs. It also has a Q&A section from other students who took it. If you're like, I don't want to write these, but I do want the results, go ahead and just at Tyler. So put at Tyler Burns, and he will get you scheduled for a call with him to have one of my crew come through and write your blogs for you. So we do all the keyword research. We write it. We basically give you a Word document, and you just post it. If nothing else, keep watching the lives. There's a few lives I did about blogs in here, and those are the lives you want to watch. Hopefully, y'all got some value from this today, and you're excited for what this is, and you see the value in it. Let me know, by the way, in the comments, if you see value in this and you want to see your own website kind of do this. By the way, we can pull up Search Console here and see what the performance is doing for my site at the moment. And you can judge this by your Instagram or whatever else is going on. Yeah, 4,119 or 169 total web clicks past 28 days. I want you to start doing this. I want to see you guys start thriving, and I want you to stop. I view just doing Instagram and just doing social media for your business as like it's like an eternal treadmill. Okay. I view running social media as like your main lead source, as just being on a treadmill, because you're always running, but you're never actually getting anywhere. If you're just focusing on posts, or you're just focusing on word of mouth, and you're not working on the actual website that you own, you will never get off that treadmill. You will always be trying to chase your tail. You'll always have to make new content to stay relevant. In this case, I don't have to. You guys can look at my Instagram if you want. I post maybe at most once every 2 months, or when I feel really inspired, or when I'm really excited about a shoot. I want to see you guys start blogging strategically, start thinking through what it is you're doing. Stop making those mistakes of just being like, I can blog every session. Okay? This whole group is about growth. This is about getting leads. This is the easiest way to do it, even though it seems hard at first. This is the one method where it looks like you're running uphill the whole time, but once you get to the top of the hill, then you get that snowball effect. You can just push the snowball down, and you're just constantly getting traffic, and you're getting leads, and you're understanding where things are coming from. You're able to continuously grow. So my recommendation is, even if you don't have us do it, even if you don't want to learn from me to do it, from a paid method, all good. I love that you guys are here either way. But start writing some strategic blogs that actually help your clients and position you as an expert, because that is where you're going to get your leads in 2023. Hey, if you like this content and you want to see more like it, do me a favor and do one of three things. Either leave me a like on here, a comment so that the video gets recommended to other people like you, or share this on one of your social feeds. Super helpful either way. Appreciate you always. That sounded fake.